Hello anime and manga fans, I'm Kyle Glockner and welcome back to another semester of Animanga. So far, 2019 has been a fantastic year for anime, with not only the sheer amount of shows and movies coming out, but the quality of those shows and movies has been consistently amazing throughout the 3 seasons we've had thus far. I haven't gotten to watch everything that I've wanted to so far this year, but I've thoroughly enjoyed almost everything that I have watched. And today, I want to talk about a movie that I ended up enjoying far more than I thought I ever would. So today, I'll be talking about Maquia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. Maquia is a movie that focuses on the life of an orphan girl named Maquia. She's a member of a race known as the Eorf, which are known for their isolation from humans, their long lives, and weaving a special cloth called the Hibiol. One day, soldiers attack the Eorf village with dragons and kill most of the inhabitants while taking Maquia's friend Lelia prisoner. One of the soldiers' dragons goes berserk after succumbing to a disease known as red eye and ends up taking Maquia and flying away from the village, eventually abandoning her in a forest. As she wanders about, she comes across a grisly murder scene where the only survivor is a baby boy, who she adopts as her own. After that, she stays with a family in the village of Helm, and her new life with her adopted son Ariel begins. Like with many shows and movies, the art style and animation was what initially grabbed my attention. While PA Works is a studio I've only recently come to recognize and appreciate, some of my favorite works of theirs include Angel Beats, Shirobako, A Lull in the Sea, Charlotte, and Iraduku, all of which I appreciate for their quiet ambiance that holds each scene together. A lot of the beauty of these shows stems from the various environments the plot takes place in, and Maquia is no different. PA Works did well to capture a very mundane fantasy setting that doesn't need to rely on spectacular magic or fantastic creatures to get the setting across to the viewer. And while I love the spectacle of a fantasy setting, sometimes I like to just sit back and enjoy a more quiet and tranquil setting, which was perfect for this film. But you should know by now that it takes more than just pretty drawings to impress me, and while I admittedly knew next to nothing about the plot going into the movie, it's definitely what kept my attention throughout the movie's run. The main focus of this movie, as I said before, is the life of Maquia and Ariel as they live out their days. In the early days, there's a lot of Maquia learning to be a mother figure to Ariel and raise him, while taking care of herself and dealing with her own issues of being separated from everything she's ever known. We jump forward in time to 10 years later when Maquia is working at a restaurant and Ariel is working as a worker in the city. Another 10 years go by and we witness Ariel as a soldier taking part in a battle against an invading nation. While it may seem a bit strange at first, remember that because she's an Eorf, Maquia hasn't really aged the entire time, while Ariel has been growing and changing every step of the way. This understandably affects the relationship the two of them have, and at times tests the bond the two have built up over the years, which plays into the overall theme of the film. If I had to describe the theme of Maquia, I would say it's a story of family. We see this from several different perspectives, including Maquia and Ariel's relationship, Maquia's friend Lelia, and another Eorf named Krim. We mostly see Maquia and Ariel's relationship develop as they are the main characters in the movie, but they do well as our leads. Throughout the years, we see how Ariel reacts to growing up while Maquia remains nearly unchanged, as well as how he deals with the stress of moving from place to place in an effort to hide Maquia's identity as an Eorf. Through them, we see what I would say is the most normal mother and child relationship of the movie, yet it's one that also has unique circumstances that play into its development throughout the years. On another hand, it's about halfway through the film we start to learn about Lelia. We learn that Lelia had a child within the royal family but wasn't permitted to see her, and this, understandably, makes her a little distressed. Through her, we see the story of an unwilling mother who wants nothing more than to see the child she brought into the world. Her story was one of my favorites, partially due to the stellar performance from her voice actress as she portrayed her distress throughout the movie. Finally, we have Krim. Krim initially appears as a survivor who tries to save Lelia from the royal family and just wants all of the separated Eorf to be able to go back to the life they once lived. While his story may seem to be the odd one out at first, I consider his story to be about the desire to bring back the family he used to have, that being the tribe of the Eorf. But I can't really say much more on him because that is something best experienced for yourself. Overall, Maquia is a wonderful movie that was far better than I ever expected it to be going in blind. While my expectations were admittedly set pretty low, I was absolutely blown away by this movie and highly recommend it. Maquia is an original movie animated by PA Works and was written and directed by Mari Okada, who also worked on Anohana, The Pet Girl of Sakura So, and Toradora, all of which are shows that I absolutely adore. So, if you're looking for a movie that will far exceed your expectations, give Maquia a shot. But that's all the time I have for today, so let me know what you think by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animanga. Until then, I'm Kyle Glockner, and this has been Animanga.